So we had a lovely evening with Ib and Julia yesterday. They had a lovely dinner with some prawns and then Ib had actually baked a really lovely blueberry cake with a lovely little crunchy topping, so that was really lovely. But then I had to really beg Grim to leave because I was having so much pain in my finger and I just really started to panic that we really needed to change the bandage. And when we took off the bandage, this was like 11 o'clock at night now, the bandage was just like completely one with the sore, so I had like absorbed the bandage, so it was just like frightfully painful to rip off the bandage. It was just like making the sore completely new again, and it was just like super bloody. But then Grim has put on a new bandage for me today, and I managed to sleep finally through the night. I didn't think I would sleep, and it's much less painful, so I'm so happy. So I got up with Grim this morning at 6:30, and Grim went to work. It's Easter Monday. Grim's at work. He'll be back at 5, or he finishes at 5, so he'll be back around 6. And I have been in a little bit of a busy culinary bee because I've already made a little pie for Grim so that he can have for his lunch at work during the week. Here, with some wild mushrooms and some camembert and his mum's eggs. Very delicious. And then I've also prepared here in the oven, we have first time I'm using my lovely new Crusade, the orange one. So I'm making a lamb stew, slow cooked for 10 hours at 90 degrees, with the lamb that we bought at the little farm shop last weekend. So that's really exciting. I've made it with some really delicious sun-dried tomatoes and some lovely beans that I've been soaking overnight. So I think it will be really delicious. I'm really excited to serve that for dinner tonight. It will be ready actually at 6 in the evening, so hopefully like perfect timing for when Grim comes home. But he's working in the acute section again today, so he might be a little bit later from work. And then I've also, the cat is having a good time here. I've also just baking some kale there as well. I've covered it with foil, so it will be a nice sort of steamed kale. So I'm going to serve that with the stew this evening. And I'm going to go into town in a little bit, and I bought a little exercise machine, so I'm going to pick that up. And, oh, I'm so sorry. And I'm going to buy some bird food because the birds are just going crazy. They've eaten up all the food. But now I'm just going to do a little quick yoga stretching. Yep, that's my day. It started snowing outside, so it's really cold. So no fun dog walk just now, maybe later. Yeah, that's my day. I've just been talking to my mum as well on FaceTime, so that's always such a lovely highlight of my day. It's awful now with Corona not being able to see my parents for so long. I've never been away from them for so long, so it's really tough. But it's good to have a boyfriend that has a really big, lovely family, so I don't feel alone here. But it is really tough to be away from them for so long. But now I'm going to cheer myself up with some yoga. Oh, I've had like a non-stop intense few hours. Oh, first I went to pick up my little exercise machine and my Mini Cooper was too small, so I had to drive back really fast and borrow Grim's parents' car, which is a big pickup, and drive back and pick it up and then drop it off back home and then go back to my car. And that was a little bit that was a little bit tough because there there was something attached to the car, so that when I was reversing I had no idea what I was going to do. But anyway, so I had my exercise machine, and then I drove in really fast into town because I wanted to get loads and loads of stuff for birds because they give me so much joy. So I was in Grangården, which is a little chain that sells loads of stuff for like the garden and stuff. So I bought some extra little props to prop up my tomatoes, very important. And then I also got lots and lots of seeds for the birds, lots of seeds, and then a brand new bird feeder as well, and a bird bath. I have to show you later. I'm so happy. It was a real treat for them because it costs a little bit, but it's so worth it because there's just new bird sorts every single day, and it just gives me so much pleasure to see them. And as soon as I hung up the new stuff, there was like a whole swarm of lovely little birds, so that makes me really happy. And now I'm just walking over to Grim's parents, and we're going to celebrate Ib's birthday. Grim's working, so I'm going solo trip, but I'm bringing the dogs with me. And because I've got this thing in the oven, and the oven keeps switching itself off, I won't be able to stay long, so I have to get back and check on the oven, you know. So yeah, I'm going through the park now, because it's quite easy to just walk over to Grim's parents. So yeah, that's my little afternoon plan. I really hope the oven doesn't switch off because that means that all of my cooking plans are a little bit up in the blue. I don't really have, because the oven switched off when I was away these few hours and fixing stuff, but I'm not sure how long it's been switched off. Oh, and I would really love it for it to be a real 10 hours like it says in the recipe book, but I don't think it's that important because you could have also done it for just 1 hour at a high temperature, so it doesn't really matter. But yeah, it would be nice if it was a long, real slow cook. So I'm really hoping that the oven doesn't switch itself off.
Är det ni
Ja,
som
min
har
komma.
tränat? Eller är det Unn? Är det du som har
Det är nog
tränat?
Unn.
Är det du som har tränat?
Jag har inte tränat, kan jag säga.
Jag är fitness. Men jag fick så, alltså, jag fick sån träningsvärk så jag alla vill göra om det. Nej men det var inte kul.
Vi fick 2 stycken. Jag krattade igår. Jag krattade igår.
Man får ställa den så här. Man får med kontakt.
Eller hur? Gud, det där var så fint.
Ska jag göra lite plats?
Det var helt otroligt fint. Wow.
Jag får väl ingen bra bild.
Molly. Oj, oj, oj.
Så sjukt fint mamma.
Tack så jättemycket. Ja, jag förstår det.
Alltså shit.
Alltså de är
Det är
så
typ
De är
fina.
som mästerverk.
Alltså mamma de är... De här hade vunnit
Oj, nu
likt.
står jag.
Alltså det är helt jäklar alltså den.
Alltså kolla. Alltså som du har. Alltså du måste ha...
Alltså
Har du haft lite kul?
Ska vi inte
Kan vi?
öppna champagne? Ska ni kissa och sen öppna?
Kan vi kissa fort? Jag vill kissa på mig.
Men då springer jag.
Ja men vi,
Vadå?
liksom de kommer kontaminera det här så kommer inte vi få någonting.
men hur ska vi göra? Har du fått en liten extra där inne då? Eller det?
Nej. Jag är så...
Here are Christina's chickens. They're in for the winter because it's a little bit too cold to have them outside.
När kommer upp i bete sen så löven tar mycket. Sa vi det när jag var ute? Jag sa att det kommer en pojke som har telefon där.
Ja, exakt.
Och det från det vita huset.
Om vi delar på det. Ja, vi delar på detta då. Vi kommer om vi kan dela, titta om mig.
Jag ställer av de här så springer vi och tar våra tallrikar.
så.
Uppstoppad.
Då ser du upp. Det är så. Ja. Alltså fryser du inte i alla fall. Skönt.
Gud vad cool som kamera.
Tack,
Ja, vad är
jag
det?
älskar den. Det är en DJI faktiskt. Men de gör såna...
Ja, gjort det.
Men det var viktigt.
Alltså att de har blandat ihop dem.
Okej.
Alltså det var super.
Jaha,
Det
Alltså,
gör
så
ju
det
ingenting.
tror jag inte hon har.
gör vi.
Nej, det gör ju verkligen ingenting.
Hoppas inte hon lyssnar. Vi säger ingenting.
Jag tyckte det var sjukt kontrollerat.
Ja, det var 1000 typ.
Men jag,
Är det
alltså
inte-
jag pratar om att man kan svullna. Om
Alltså
man
människor som har haft eller har botox
Det är
ansiktet
filler.
som
Alltså de svullnar ut.
Oj, men det
Ja.
kanske är något nytt.
Ja, då.
Sälja vaccin till botoxanvändare.
Nej men man vill, alltså det blir fult. Alltså man
Du var
svullnar.
missuppfattad
Ja, du
hela
förstår.
tiden.
Du
Du bara,
förstår.
gud hur kan det här vara så svårt då?
Jag tror inte du förstår. Eller gör det?
Att botox.
Men-
Botox äter kroppen upp.
Nej, alltså när man...
Gilles kommer
Nej, men om man har
kroppen.
fillers i läpparna, om man sprutar in vaccin,
Ja, jag
då svullnar
förstår. Men det var det
läpparna.
jag menade att det skulle vara en ny grej.
Bra.
Det var det.
Är det det?
Nej, vad kul!
Haha, vad gulligt.
Det var för du pratade om det förra gången när du var med farmor. Eller när du pratade om farmor.
Ja, ja.
Så sa du, jag tycker nog detta är goda tankar.
Det var jätte.
Det är faktiskt
Det är samma.
Det är samma märke ju som...
Ja,
Vi var jätterädda att det inte skulle fungera på er spis, men det gör det.
ja.
men
Jo det gör den för att vi har ju en likadan fast
Okej.
Jag tror det. Det står ju på den här. Här, induction.
Ah.
Den här för mig.
Använder man samma smet som pannkakor? Eller? Man gör det?
Ja, jag tror det är typ exakt samma.
Oh, Molly.
En bunke.
Men den var ju skitsnygg. Vad är det du tar?
Ja. Jo.
Den är faktiskt
Oh, wow.
Oj, den var
Plus att
Den var
för att
jättefin.
man kan ställa den, det kan man typ aldrig med luftslappen. Alltså man bara hänger den så.
Ah,
Den var jättefin.
Ja, riktigt snyggt.
verkligen.
Den får man nästan.
Det kan man
faktiskt
typ ha
nej.
framme.
Vi har en men den vi har dels är den ful och sen så är den ganska liten.
Den här är stor.
Ja, den
Den är
är
riktigt bra.
Riktigt stor.
Den är faktiskt, jag tycker faktiskt den var snygg. Och
Ja.
med trä.
Ja,
jättefin.
Och att man kan ställa den.
riktigt snyggt.
Vad är det här? Vet jag
Det
inte
här
vad
var
det är.
mycket. Ja. Ja, perfekt.
Vill du ha den på dig?
Ja.
Pappa älskar den.
Ja, du har använt den.
Vill du ha den på dig?
Det är ju merinoull.
Jag tror den är jättefin. Jag tror inte det var det. Det hade du behövt.
Ja, den nytt hem.
Den var snygg. Snygg.
Vad är det?
Den här kan jag inte gissa.
Molly! Molly!
Ah, ett våffeljärn.
Riktigt nice.
Fan vad nice.
Wow!
Det sa jag till dig häromdagen.
Vad sa du?
Ja, nej, jag fattar ingenting. Nej, men det stod... För det har varit våffelns dag eller något sånt senaste.
Mamma köpte ett likadant.
Mom say, stop that now.
Det är ju den bästa.
Lite.
Det är det som ligger där i då. Det vi slängde.
Men gud,
För att jag sa...
vi har pratat om att vi skulle köpa en sån.
Ja,
alltså,
ja.
inte- Men en våffeljärn.
Man kan ju göra varma mackor och sånt till de här också.
Okej.
Det var bra.
Ja.
Det ska ju vara det allra
jättebra.
bästa.
Mamma hade slängt er förpackning i
Aha.
jag bara, åh, ni gjort våfflor. Tack så jättemycket.
Det var riktigt bra present då.
Riktigt bra
Ja,
present.
riktigt bra.
Ja,
Ja,
verkligen. Det här är nog min favorit.
ja, allting går ju.
Vad ska du använda den till?
Jag är skitnöjd.
Någon sten kanske. Om jag
Den är
råkar
väldigt
skruva
snygg.
en planka på fel.
Nu får ni dricka kaffe.
Ja,
Just det.
Inåt.
Ja.
Ja.
Hej då.
Ha det så frossligt.
Vi har inte gjort så mycket idag.
Det ser bra ut.
Ja, men det kommer att bli riktigt bra.
Ja.
Vi är riktigt taggade. Nej, vi har så mycket mat.
Hej då! Älskar
Hej
er
då.
Det
också!
ska vara så.
Ofta det är väldigt
Hur gör man borta?
It's time to show you what I bought for the birds. Oh, there's so many birds outside. I'm going to disturb them now. Oh god, but they're so beautiful. Okay, so I bought a brand new, really big bird feeder, which is hanging in the tree. Oh god, I'm trying to go really slowly because there's so many birds. I don't want to scare them away. But do you see that in the tree hanging there? And I filled it up with my own nut mix because they're not selling any mixed nuts anymore. So I bought peanuts, sunflowers, hemp seeds and oats, and I've mixed them up and put them all as a mix into this really big bird feeder. So that's really good because I know that all of the seeds and all of the ingredients are really good quality. So these birds are getting the best possible nut mix ever. And then this is a really lovely big bird feeder, so there won't be any drama. There's enough room for so many different birds to be together and eat from the bird feeder, so that feels really good. I'm really happy that they can have such a good time at the bird feeder. See if we can zoom in without scaring them. They're really quite aware of all of my movements, even though I'm inside. But you might be able to see there's like a few birds just fluttering around. There's a lot of birds on the ground, because different birds like to either feed directly from the bird feeder, or they like to feed from the ground. So there's quite a few birds that prefer to feed from the ground. So yeah, there's one really gorgeous one now, but I just don't want to scare it away. So I'm gonna move out now. Move reverse. Okay, so that was the really big bird feeder, and then all of that lovely nice bird feed that I bought. And then here we have the favourite of the starlings, which is this little wheel. So I just bought some new balls to top it up because they literally eat a whole ring like that in 2 days. And then behind that I've hung the old bird feeder, and I've seen that a lot of birds are coming to that one too. So yeah, successful update to the bird feeding area. And then I don't know if I showed you guys, this was the new ceramics that I bought when me and Grim were in that shop with the lamps. I bought this lovely tiny miniature vase that I've put a little bit of jasmine in that's broken off. But that's really cute to have little bits of flowers in. And then I bought this lovely Swedish ceramic, which we've put some Easter tulips in. This one here is so lovely. So I'm really pleased with that. And we have a really gorgeous little Easter setup here, especially with the cat now sitting there. Breezy Brings! Hi Breams! Yeah. And I just actually set up the exercise trainer that I have, so I'm going to show you that now. Hi Molesy, my beautiful angel. You are so beautiful, little pretty. So beautiful. Okay, should we have a look at the exercise trainer? I'm actually really excited for it. I tried it out now and it is actually really good. It works really well. And it was only 30 quid. So I'm actually really pleased with it. Just some guy was selling it. He didn't have room for it in his house anymore, so he sold it for a really good price. And that actually works really well. I'm really happy with it. I totally forgot to show you guys when we ate dinner, but it was really delicious. We had this lamb gryta, so a lamb stew, which turned out really delicious, and I had roasted some I roasted some potatoes and kale and then homemade sourdough. So that was a delicious combination. It was really, really yummy. But now I'm so tired. I'm really, really tired. I'm going to change my bandage again on my finger. And then watch some TV and sleep. So that's the end of my Easter now, unfortunately. I've had such a wonderful time. I just wish that Grim was also free with me. Because it's been a little bit lonely these past 2 days without him. But I'm glad that he's home now so we can have a nice cozy evening. I'll see you next time. So bye, Jeepsons.
Arrivederci.
Say bye, little ladies. Yeah.